tyre choice is extremely limited. If I could get the seat brand as the originals, I'd have them on. They're Pro Grip with a double P. 90/90 19 front, 110/80 18 rear. Can't get them whatsoever. Tried eBay, websites, general searches, nothing. So, what to do? Well, if you go full road biased, there's plentiful of different choices. Avon Road Runners, for example, or the Road Riders, whatever they call them. But Pirellis, I forget what they're called, like a Smelly. But I don't want that. I want that option to do a bit of green laning. Very light, of course, but a bit of green laning. So, as I can't get the original tyres, I'm going for Heidenau K67s, which are somewhat of a trials tyre, not a true, I would say, a true trials tyre, not a competition tyre, but certainly the same sort of block pattern. No doubt they won't last as long as these, probably 2,000, 2,500 maybe on the back. Sort of half what these will last, but I decided to stick with the off tarmac side of things. Some people say they do stick quite well in dry conditions on tarmac because they're generally quite soft, but we will see. I suppose if they're rubbish, you've only got to put up with them for 2,000 miles. I don't think they are. A lot of people recommend these tyres, so we're going to go for that. Had a bit of trouble getting, I think it was the rear, but they are on the way. Going to get them fitted, hopefully next week. Did this bit of road on the National Road Rally last September. The supplementary instructions are available for this year on the National Road Rally website. I'm having a bit of game changing gear because I've got new boots. New adventure boots. That's it, better. I'll tell you about them in a bit. Miles per gallon, around about 85, just over. And the other day I did the check on that, and I didn't want to fill up again because of the very small hole in the tank filler, which is a pain in the backside and is the, well, let's be kind and say the least favourite thing about the bike. But you have to do it very slow or you get a petrol fountain. And today I only just managed to fill it up in time before the pump switched off, because there must be some sort of timer on that. But you got to take your time. The good side is though, and I chickened out at about 200 miles, I got back after my last outing on Johnny. I was easing, easy, very easy on the throttle for about 25-30 miles when the light wasn't on, the fuel low light wasn't on solid all the time. It did flick on and off a little bit, so there's probably quite a bit left, but it was about 200 miles, but certainly 180, no problem at all, 190. And that's not being too easy on the throttle in the first place. Look at the views though, eh? Look at the views. Beautiful. Great to get out. Sadly though, the, shall we say, less traffic due to the virus and restrictions and people working from home more has just about all but gone now. And because of that, perhaps it's just my bad luck today, I've had two folk pull out on me. Both required some fairly heavy work of the front brake. Talking of the front brake, I think when the pads are due to change, I'm going to change for some EBCs. It does work quite well, but you do have to tug on them, and it is quite wooden in feel, but it's solid enough and it does do the job, but you just have to, shall we say, work at it a bit more. I'm nitpicking really. She is still like a nice warm bath to ride. You get on and you go, ah. Maybe you could do with a slightly louder exhaust, but I've got that with the others, so it's nice to have a change. And I don't mind the exhaust, the standard exhaust. It is a bit on the big side, but what exhaust isn't these days? I do like how high it comes up and curves over. The one that Hitchcocks do, which I had an idea, I asked them about it even before I got the bike, could you do something, and they have done something there. A few people have done it, but their link pipe doesn't bend as much, and it doesn't come up as high, but in some ways that's better, because maybe you can get a small set of panniers on the back. That's a bit of a downside actually. If you want to put luggage on her, you can't, not with a standard exhaust. Only on the one side. You have got that good carrier at the back, which is 15 kilogram loading. Good sized tank area to put something on there, tank bag or whatever. But she's such a relaxing ride. And I've probably said this before because it's been a long time. Let's be honest, folks, if nothing happens, there's nothing to report. So if you've got a problematic vehicle like, I don't know, let's pick on Land Rover today, then the videos will be far more often. There ain't a lot to tell, but just to keep you up to speed and what's going on. As for boots, I've bought some RST Adventure, let me get it right, WP I think it is, no, XCWP, which is similar to the ones I used to have. They do seem to be better made, except for the clasps, the adjustment. If you come to the last one or two little notches, it just comes out, so you've got to be careful on that. But I am wearing them in first time out, and that's why I'm having a bit of trouble changing gear. And the reason I bought them is because the Altbergs, I don't think they'll ever wear out. They're that good, but they are uncomfortable. They're harsh. The leather's great, but it's so stiff, and it's like 1,500, 2,000 miles in now. And they're still like new, really. They are cold. Don't seem that much insulation in them, and plus, because they were made for somebody else, although I saved 80 quid, around the top of the calf, it's quite large, and I think whoever had them had calves twice the size of mine, and you do have to fiddle around with that rather large strap. Wellesbourne Airfield. Was there a Vulcan here at one time? Calf not open. Ah, there's the Vulcan. Not very good. Oh, I don't know, we should get... Oh, look at that. What a machine. What a machine. It's owned by the same designer as the Lancaster. See if we can get in and get a shot of her. Oh yes. Awesome. It's not the warmest day we've had so far, but it's probably second to warmest, about 18 degrees. We've got the big jacket on, but the vents are open. We've got the jumper bungeed on the back of the bike, just in case you need it late on. Because we're coming up to tea time now, but it's nice light, although it's a bit early in the year, so you still get quite a bit of shadow at this time of day. Right, where should we go now? I don't come to Warwickshire that often. Village centre, okay, straight on. It's a little bit more, I suppose, awkward to get to from where I am in the West Mids. Places like Staffordshire, Shropshire, Worcestershire, well, North Worcestershire, pretty easy to get to. In fact, I had to go through some of North Worcestershire to get to this part of the world. But oh, we've got a bit of a nice bend here. I know this is not an old Bullet, but the sort of ethos is the same. Frame's very similar. But you read the books and it's like it was a sporty machine in its day, and you think, get off. Even if you know, forget what's about now as a sports bike, it really is it? You know, yeah, go back to the 50s and 60s. It'd be like BSA Gold Star would be, well, that was a bit of a race bike on the road, I suppose. And then Bonneville's, Norton single, well, the International anyway, single International 500. I mean, that was pretty much a production on the road in a fashion. Manx Norton, you know, all sorts of them. You say, well, they were the sporty bikes of the day. But having had a Bullet now for 4,042.5 miles, I sort of get it. It is a little bit sporty. In other words, it's a nimble machine. It's you know, it's no absolute rocket ship, but it's quick enough, and it's arguably faster than the GT. Certainly getting up to 70. As I said before, it's a bit more on your chest, mind. You're going along at them sort of speeds. But I sort of get it, yeah. It's very manageable. The handling's quite nice, very comfortable, yet not too soft and not too hard either. And it's a bent swinger, certainly. Whether it's better handling than the Himalayan, it's quicker because of the smaller front wheel, I suppose, is the main thing, though it's a heavier bike. The Himalayan's benefit is the rear suspension with the monoshock, and that's even better than the GT smelling. Oh, I didn't want to come through Stratford-upon-Avon. Whoops. Okay folks, what's that supposed to be? I have no idea. No idea. It looks a bit like a sundial, I suppose, if it is. Certainly a globe in the middle of some description. There, that wasn't too bad. Stratford, just clicked the corner, as it were. Folks, the Get Out There challenge, which you can find out all about in the announcement section on the Facebook page, that is opening up again to entries on the 26th of April. And it's a bit mad. Took all day to get a coffee, I suppose. Oh, a proper bike. How you getting on with it? Well, some nice machinery. Never been here before, and I'll be honest, here comes the pun, folks. Not my cup of tea, I'm afraid. Say, nice machinery, but and great to see them doing good business. But yeah, it's nearly 5:30 now. It's a bit well, I don't know. You know, each to their own, but nice chap there with a chap and his Interceptor. Now folks, we're after the site of the should we say first proper battle for democracy here in England. Not that democracy is perfect, of course, and it certainly wasn't after the parliamentarians won. 1642, the Battle of Edge Hill is around here somewhere. There is an exhibition. We'll try and find that and see if we can glean any information, but whilst in Warwickshire, let's see the sights, as it were. I think it's Radway we're looking for. Well, this is all very nice, isn't it?
We are here, Edge Hill's there, Mutton Bailey's there, Neighbury Camp there, Bullet Hill, we're on the right bike, and we'll keep looking on our left basically, so down to the end of here, turn right, then follow it all around, keep going left basically.